Alright, let's go ahead and just look at a little sample of a credit card statement. We can kind of point out some of those vocab words that we talked about or some of those things we said we'd see on there. So on your credit card statement, you're going to see your name, you're going to see the address, you're going to see some account information. So here's that account number that we talked about. Remember, the account number is specific to you. We see the billing date, so this is the date that they sent out this bill to you. And then you see the payment due date, so it's due on the 2nd of February. If you do not pay it by the 2nd of February, you will have a late fee. Next, you see all these transactions. So it says on the 2nd of January, you went to this gift shop. It looks like you spent $75. On the 3rd of January, you went to some pizza place. You spent $31.85. And again, it lists all those transactions. Important for you to look through those. Make sure everything is what you actually spent money on. Notice here they also have a payment on there, meaning you must have paid some money to your credit card company throughout that billing period. And then we put a negative here just because it reduces how much you are going to owe. Down here is a summary. This is kind of the important information. Here it says the previous balance. So it looks like at the end of the last month you did not pay off your entire credit card. So you still owe it $150.50. You made some payments and credits in this last cycle. So whatever your previous balance is, if you owed $150.50, those payments and credits, we're going to go ahead and subtract those from the previous balance because your previous balance is going down because you're paying in $75. Next, we have new purchases. So that comes from the $75, the $31.85, the $139.10, and the $38.50. If we add those together, those would tell us our new purchases. So we take our previous balance, we'd again subtract that $75, but then we'd have to add our new purchases because those are things that we also have to pay for. Looks like we didn't have a late charge last month. We must have paid the minimum balance in time, so we don't have to do anything with that. We do have a finance charge because, again, we didn't pay off that entire credit card bill, so we're going to have to add that to what we owe. And then when we add and subtract all those things from our previous balance, they give us this new balance here. That's what everything equals. Again, on here, they're going to tell you that your minimum payment is $20. So by the 2nd of February, you have to pay $20. Otherwise, you're going to incur a late fee. Down here, they talk about your total credit line. So it looks like this person can charge up to $8,000 on their credit card. Their available credit is $7,636.52. And the way they got this is they just took that $8,000 and they subtracted whatever that new balance was. So they subtracted the $363.48, and that's where they got that total available credit. And that's how much money they can still spend to get to that $8,000. Down on the bottom here, they have your average daily balance, which we've talked about before, the number of days in your billing cycle, which is 30, the annual percentage rate, which is 18, and then the monthly periodic rate, again, which is just taking this annual percentage rate and dividing by 12 to get to the monthly one. So again, those are all the little bits and pieces that are on a credit card statement, and you would have to be able to pull out information from a credit card statement, maybe on the homework or on a quiz or test. It's important to understand what everything means on there so that when you yourself have a credit card someday, when you get these in the mail, you'll understand what you're looking at. So we're finally going to jump into a couple examples here. This is kind of what questions are going to look like. It says Pascal has a credit line of $15,000, meaning that's the most money he can put on his credit card. His summary looks as follows. How much available credit does Pascal have? Well, we first have to figure out, before we can figure out how much available credit he has, is we have to figure out what his new balance is. How much does he owe to this credit card company? So to find out the new balance, we have to take the previous balance, which is this $4,598.12. That's how much he still owes. He made a payment in credit of $4,000, so we're going to go ahead and subtract $4,000 from this number because he doesn't owe $4,000 anymore. He paid that off. However, he had a bunch of new purchases, so we're going to have to add the new purchases. So add this $1,368.55. He had a late charge of $20, so we're going to have to add that because that's also what he owes. And he had a finance charge since he didn't pay off his credit card in full of $5.78. So when we subtract the 4,000 and add those other numbers, his new balance is going to be $1,992.45. Over here, they're not asking for the new balance, they're asking for his available credit. So this is how much he owes the credit card company. They said he could owe up to $15,000. So to find his available credit, we're just going to go ahead and take this $15,000 and we are going to subtract the $1,992.45. It looks like for available credit, we're going to get $13,007, excuse me, and 55 cents. So that's how much money he can still charge to his credit card. And payments and credits, we're going to subtract those from the previous balance because that's less money that we owe. Then we have to add in all of these new purchases, late charges, and finance charges. Alright, so here on this next one, it's your turn. I want you to find the mistake they made. So it says Mirna is examining the summary section of her credit card statement. Mirna has checked all the entries on her bill and agrees with everything except the new balance. Determine where the error was made. So why do they have the wrong new balance? So I want you to pause the video, try this one on your own. When you think you got it, resume the video so you can check your answer. So we got to check why that new balance is incorrect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to calculate the new balance and see if I can figure out what went wrong with that. So what we're going to do, just like that last example, we're going to take that $1,748, the previous balance. Since we made payments and credits, those are we're going to subtract from this. We're going to subtract 100. We have new purchases of 800, so we're going to add those. A late charge of $9.15. We're going to add that. And then a finance charge of $19. We're going to add that. So when we do that, we should get that the new balance should be $2,476.15. This is what it should be. That's the correct answer. So the question is, what was the error that was made? Well, if we notice between what we got for the new balance and what they had for the new balance, it's $100 off. So it looks like, based on the information we have here, that they forgot to subtract the $100 for that payment or credit. So we're going to say what the error was. They forgot to take into account the $100 payment. Very good. All right, hopefully this is all making some sense to you, just looking at that credit card statement, filling out some of that missing information. So we're just going to end with a little quick review here. It shouldn't take too long. Says the annual percentage rate on Henry's credit score was 29.4, so that's annual. What is his monthly? So you should be thinking, well, if I want to go to monthly, I have to take 29.4 and I have to divide by 12, since there's 12 months in a year, and you should get 2.45%. Whereas on the second one, it says the monthly periodic rate is 1.5%, and we want to go to annual. So to do the reverse, instead of dividing by 12, we have to multiply by 12, which makes sense because the annual percentage rate should be higher than the monthly. We're going to take 1.5 times 12, you will get 18%. And just a little review of those monthly and annual percentage rates. Hopefully this all went okay for you. At this point, you can go ahead and show the sub your note packet, show that him or her that it is completely filled out. And then you have the rest of the time to work on the worksheet. The worksheet is due tomorrow, so please use the rest of your time wisely. If you have any questions when you're going over things later, please feel free to shoot me an email. Thanks.